Have you ever wondered what is wrong with the church today? Have you ever wondered what specific standards are we in the church to live by? Or are we to just pick and choose things that we like from the New Testament? Or have you ever wondered, did Christ himself live as Christians do today in the 21st century? Or have you ever wondered more deeply, what was Christ and his disciples' actual mindset and their actual worldview? Have you ever had questions like, how did Christ rise in 3 days when Good Friday to Palm Sunday is 2 days? Nearly. Have you ever had questions like, if God says he will never change, as he clearly states in Malachi, why then did the very next book, which is Matthew, does God seemingly change the entire front of the book, which lies therein the very place which he states that he would never change? Well, with a traditional Protestant interpretation of Holy Scripture, the latter two questions can never be sufficiently answered, to the serious student of Scripture, that is. And at best, the answer will only leave the reader confused or with a dose of cognitive dissonance. Of course, we all as Christians believe that all Scripture is inspired of God, as stated in the book of Timothy. But in a world of skepticism and atheism, we must be ready to give an answer to the unbeliever. But how can we do this with such seeming contradictions between the Old and New Testament? We must not just give an answer that outwardly silences the atheist or the skeptic for the onlookers, but we must give an honest answer, one that truly soothes the soul of the serious student of Scripture. So how can we find honest answers to these honest questions? Well, the answer is simple. We must begin to truly seek God by opening up the Bible and reading it with our traditional Christian goggles removed. As it is written, I thank thee, O Father, Lord of heaven and earth, because thou hast hid these things from the wise and the prudent, and hast revealed them unto babes. Yes, Father, for this was well pleasing in your sight. We must be willing to drop our doctrinal biases, our pride, or even our seminary education, if any be found to be at odds with the Holy Scriptures. We must be willing to actually change our beliefs, as well as our lifestyles, to be true followers of Christ. No matter the cost, we must truly believe the Scriptures for what they plainly say about themselves. After all, as Paul states in the book of Timothy, all Scripture is inspired of God, and if all Christians believe this, which we clearly and adamantly claim to believe, well, doesn't this include the law of God? This is exactly what I began to do nearly 10 years ago, and in doing so, I was able to find many answers to these very challenging questions. I began my journey by removing the traditional Christian goggles and reading the Holy Scriptures as Christ and his disciples did, according to the way. As the Apostle Paul states in Acts 24:14, but I confess to you that according to the way which they call a heresy, I worship the God of our fathers, believing everything laid down in the law and written in the prophets. Well, my name is Isaiah, and I would like to welcome you to my YouTube channel. On this channel, we will be diving into the Scripture and answering questions from a position which holds that the law of God is still required for Christians today, and always have been required throughout history, and will continue to be so until heaven and earth passes away. We will also be examining why other religions are not the correct way, and why only the Bible is the true way to the one and only true God, Jesus Christ. So, please subscribe if you think you might be interested. Thank you for watching. See you soon.